question.
I know. Thank you.
I don't have an
It's a
answer for
great
that.
question.
I don't know how to do
Anyway,
with that.
what's going on with the Good Doctor?
There's just this like, oh fuck, what's the actor's name? The Chinese guy from Lost.
Oh, Jin something, or his last name is Jin or something like that.
Yeah, I forget his name.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I think he's like one of the showrunners. I think
Shit,
maybe
really?
he might be like, but he was in an episode lately. Like he was in like he had like a 4-episode series.
Right, he was like
in like I guess like the latest season maybe, and a little stint. He was in a stint of episodes.
A recurring guest role.
And
Special
there's
guest
this like
star.
scene. There's this scene where the autistic good doctor is like losing his fucking mind, like screaming, making
He's
like
having a meltdown.
the most. He's having a meltdown, and then hot hunk China doctor is like.
No, we're not allowed.
He's just like stone faced, like looking good, and like, and so now it's like the virgin doctor versus like the Chad.
Of course,
it's like I forget his name, but they refer to the doctor as his name too. And then it just like that just like there's the good doctor and then this other doctor,
right?
And then so that just like led people into like watching the show. And just realizing that it's insane. It's just an insane show.
Oh, because that clip like got viral, and then people were like, "I gotta check this out," and watched it, and we're like, "Wait the fucking minute!"
Yeah, like what? This is fucking insane.
Yeah,
it's like the doctor just having an episode like mid surgery.
It's literally ER meets Doogie Howser meets Big Bang Theory, like.
Yeah, meets young Sheldon.
Yeah, oh, dude, someone in some comment somewhere, it might have been on my personal TikTok, but they said I looked like the mom from Young Sheldon. No, okay, no, it wasn't that. Thank God. No, it was something else.
Wait, wasn't what? Which part of that wasn't it?
It was totally not related to me at all. It was a picture that I shared of the family from Roseanne, and the Aunt Jackie is that actress plays Young Sheldon's mom, I think. And someone mentioned that, but I internalized it to think that someone was calling me Young Sheldon's mom, and I took offense for no reason because nobody said that.
Is it bad to look like Young Sheldon's mom?
I don't know. I didn't even look it up. I'm going to look it up.
I've never seen Young Sheldon.
Mom.
I've seen The Big Bang Theory, and it's really good.
Huh.
It's a great show.
Oh, it's Young Sheldon's mom. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. I Googled it, and they were showing me someone very young and hot. But the young and hot woman plays a flashback version of Young Sheldon's mom, which is, I don't know the actress's name. Laurie Metcalf. Laurie Metcalf plays actual Sheldon's mom, who was Aunt Jackie in Roseanne. But when I Googled it, there was a hot girl, but she's the flashback version of Laurie Metcalf in Young Sheldon.
Was Aunt Jackie hot on Roseanne?
She was supposed to be in ours.
Oh, she's like the mess. Is she like the hot mess?
She's the hot mess, but she always wears like
the
like highest, tightest jeans, and she's also like super skinny. So she wears like
so she's hot.
jeans.
So she's hot. I'm just kidding,
dude.
I'm just fucking around.
No,
I don't remember there being anyone hot on that show, except John Goodman.
Dude, John Goodman is so fucking hot. It's illegal how hot he is. But so she didn't. The thing with her is she didn't wear a lot of makeup in the show. So I think, I mean, she was definitely. I sent you the Google search, like the Google image search. She was definitely the town that they lived in level hot. They lived in this like shitty, like small, not rural, but also not suburban town in Illinois.
Okay, yeah, she was not hot.
No, but she was
She could have been.
She was also very loose.
Oh, well.
Was the thing. Was
you make up for
her
it.
whole story. I think she's a very pretty woman. They just like did not make her hot. Like
yeah, they did not do. They weren't like doing her up.
She's definitely small town Illinois, like Rust Belt hot.
Yeah, if I was driving through town, and just stopping in at the
local watering
hole.
Yep.
Yeah, and she's sitting there, and I ask if I can buy her like a Coors Light.
Oh, she would take it, and she would also be like, "Hello."
Oh yeah.
Which
we're
maybe where me and Aunt Jackie relate. Because
you would take the.
I was never, in my hottest years, I was never above a 6. I don't think. And man, dick is a dime a dozen. I'll tell you that much right the fuck now. It's easy.
Dude, let me tell you. Yes.
As a person who's trying to sell this dick, put it on the market, dime.
Oh, it's where you can buy it.
It's in all major stores.
Yeah, I had an insane experience in a bowling alley once.
Oh, what?
At the bowling alley at the bar. I haven't washed my hair in a while.
It's got good volume. Like, it's not yet to the greasy, but it's just like, yeah, I think it looks good.
It's looking okay.
Yeah, looks very good.
I also don't know what good looks like.
I understand. We've talked about
that's
this
been my
before.
problem with having. My problem with having long hair is I've never understood if I do have if I do it well.
Right. I think you do.
I just have no
a little.
I have no perception.
You've got a little shape to it, but it also looks very natural. Look at that nice wave you've got going. It frames your face very nice.
I do have the wave.
Yeah.
God bless me with the wave.
Same.
God, not any of the other ones.
Who?
I don't know. Muhammad. Who are the other gods?
I think there's
Zeus?
only the one, and then there's Norse and Greek and Roman, but they're all
Vishnu?
kind of the same. Yeah,
don't forget
Vishnu.
India.
I'm actually reading. I'm reading a book that's a sort of reimagining of Hindu,
Is it by that same bitch that wrote the Greek ones?
It's by an Indian woman, actually.
Okay,
So
I won't
she,
call her a bitch.
Knows it. But yeah, it's
She's probably a beautiful woman.
Sort of retelling of Hindu mythology and.
You like these books.
I do love a retelling. I'm not gonna lie, I really do.
A slightly fictional retelling.
Mm-hmm. Love it. I love a interpretation.
I have no patience for it, but I don't dislike it.
You don't dislike it, but you also have no patience for it. Did you like Troy, the movie?
Not really.
Yeah, it's bad. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's a pretty bad movie.
It's not good.
No, it's kind of dumb.
It's extremely bad. Personally,
I like Eric Bana. He's cool.
Yeah, he was good for. Who was he? He was Hector, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a good Hector. That's what I picture Hector as. Really,
I like the Trojan actors. The Trojan cast was cool.
Yes, I will say though,
the big Ajax guy, he's cool. I don't remember who plays him.
My 2 problems with that movie were, first of all, Brad Pitt close on Achilles, but not quite, in my opinion.
He's almost too pretty.
See, to me, he wasn't pretty enough. He's too handsome. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
he's
okay.
To me, Achilles is more like.
He's more angelic in his
He's
art of
really
death.
Tall and lanky in my
Who would you have cast then? So I'm gonna ask you this for both.
You know who, if he was a bit taller and a little more muscular, actually Timothée Chalamet.
Well, he was also 10.
Well, this is a made
so
up.
not an option.
This is
also okay.
If anyone
recast
could be.
recast a character and you're not allowed to use Timothée Chalamet.
Okay, let's see.
I think like that's a rule just going forward. You know what would have
been, I think, if they had pulled it off correctly, as far as like acknowledging the humor in it, but also not leaning into the humor in it. Channing Tatum could have actually been a pretty good Achilles.
I could see that.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a little bit of the arrogance without, because to me, anytime I've read about Achilles, what I kind of like about him is how loved he is, how much he wants to do his own thing, but he also wants to be revered and admired so badly. And I think Channing Tatum could really pull off that, like, the arrogance without, because like the way Brad Pitt did it was very the
well, he doesn't
superhero in Megamind, like very like yes, citizens, of course you love me kind of thing.
Well, because he like, from what I know, he is like in life he is not arrogant. Like he doesn't like people commenting on his looks.
And he doesn't even want to fight in the Trojan War, but I forget, there's some like agreement that got made or something.
No, I'm talking about Brad Pitt. I'm talking about Brad Pitt in real life.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Achilles.
No, I'm talking about, well, Achilles didn't exist. So Brad Pitt in real life doesn't like people commenting on his looks. So if he has to act arrogant, it's truly acting.
Right, which then comes off in, I guess maybe that's
it could
what it
come
is.
Off
it
like
comes off
heavy-handed,
more arrogant. Yeah, because
yeah,
he's being very like,
which might not.
Yeah,
it might be too showy on camera, whereas the Achilles persona would be a little bit more like he's had a lifetime of being arrogant, so it's more natural.
Right. And he even that was my other complaint about Troy was I hated they glossed over hard his relationship with Patroclus, where in Troy that's his like little friend servant boy kind of guy in Troy. That's how they portray
Patroclus.
No, Patroclus.
Is Patroclus?
Yeah, it's L-U-S.
Oh, whoa.
C-L-U-S, yeah.
Patroclus. Maybe I've just never read this. Maybe I've been thinking of someone else. Maybe I'm not like, don't know this weird character.
Yeah, he was like, he grew up with Achilles. He was like stolen or given, that like very like the royal thing where like a lesser family will like give a royal family their kid to like be raised to be, a squire or whatever. Patroclus was that, but him and Achilles were same age, and they met when they were like 10 or something, and they just grew up together. And nowadays, historically, it's a very like they were roommates situation where it's like they were in love, like
they were just batching
together. They were batching hard,
dude. Just a couple batchy boys, dude. Hey, they were batching at all hours. Who knew who they were batching?
Yeah, but yeah, Troy. First of all, Brad Pitt as Achilles, and then some little fucking loser twink as Patroclus. And in the movie, he kept calling him cousin. He was like, cousin.
No, because they're from Chicago.
Right. They're in the Bear.
Yeah. Yeah, that movie sucks.
Dude, it's not good. And I was mostly pissed at the fact that they didn't acknowledge even a little bit. Like, they made it seem like Patroclus was like his little errand boy, like that he was like employed.
Run along now, Achilles. Fetch me my mail.
Yeah, where
and my plugs.
Truly, like a lot of like, I want to say historians, but like you said, this is like a made up story, like a mythological historian.
Fake, not real.
Most of them agree that the story is that Patroclus and Achilles are like, because when Achilles,
well, it would make more sense.
When Patroclus is killed, because he impersonates Achilles, because he doesn't want Achilles to go on the battlefield and be butchered by, I think he fights, who does he fight? I can't remember.
He fights like all of them.
When Patroclus goes on the field, he's like trying to go up against a specific warrior that they were like.
Does he fight Ajax?
Might have been Ajax.
Ajax
and he
is
gets
the scary
fucking
guy.
cut down like immediately because he's Patroclus. He's not Achilles.
Oh, maybe he goes against Hector.
He might go against Hector. Yes, he does go against Hector, and that's why he
Achilles
drags
is
Hector's
pissed off.
Body around the temple or around the city a bunch of times. You're absolutely right. So,
and they're like,
take that.
In the movie they make it dumb where like, I mean, maybe this is how the mythology goes, but like Hector realizes it's not Achilles and like has the option not to, like, could just have not killed him. But then in the movie he's just like, I'm going to kill you anyway. Like, I'm just going to kill you.
I don't remember. Mythology he doesn't realize until after he killed him.
Oh, maybe the movie does it that way too. I'm just assuming the movie's bad in this way as well.
No, I mean, I have a really good imagination, so anything you say could be true. But
yeah, I'm going to
think
assume
you
the
might
listeners
be right
have the same imagination,
about the
so I'm just
movie.
going to go with it. Yeah, I'll just say it. That's the way it is. Yeah.
But they then tried to make that like that's
them
spurn
try to make that
for Achilles of like that's why he's so mad is that his best friend could have not been killed, even though he was never treating his best friend like a best friend. First of all, in the movie,
best friend, yeah.
Second of all, like after Patroclus gets killed and Achilles takes like really fucked up revenge on Hector for killing Patroclus, then like weeps for days, like picks out the plot for Patroclus, like the tomb for him, like isn't the same after that. Like in the stories, sometimes like the death of Patroclus is why Achilles ended up getting killed eventually. Like,
oh, but he became too
he was
like,
inconsolable.
Rash.
Yeah, like because he was just out for vengeance.
Dude, out for that Greek blood.
Patroclus's death.
Trojan blood.
Yep.
Hey.
Anyway, we were going to talk about what your fucking idea is.
Oh, yeah. No, I remember. I hadn't lost the plot.
What the
so,
fuck, dude?
Okay, so the natural evolution of the show,
right.
Which, hey, it has to happen.
Okay.
The show must go on.
I understand. I'm
also must evolve.
I'm not going to can I be open and honest with you right now?
Yeah.
I personally wasn't feeling an evolution was oncoming.
Oh, it's not a big thing. It's not a big thing.
I understand. I just want to say that
You were apprehensive about what I'm going to say?
Yes, I am.
Okay. No. Basically, it's just two things.
Okay.
I don't want to know the topics anymore.
Okay.
We'll try it out again. Because I think we're both getting better at what we're doing. Okay, it's just three things.
Okay. Three things.
The first thing is...
you don't want to know.
Don't tell me the topic anymore,
okay.
And let's see how that goes. Mm-hmm. And that feeds into the part two.
Okay.
Part two is... And this is a bigger one.
Okay.
But I feel like we have moved away. We've lost the plot of... These are your hyper focuses.
Okay.
And we've moved into the territory of you having to pick a topic and then prepare for it.
Yes. Okay.
Which I would like us to move back into the idea that, and this will go into the third point.
Okay. I'm gonna let you finish before I respond.
I'd like to go back to the idea of it's just something you've happened to hyper focus on, a more natural topic progression.
Yes.
Rather than picking something.
Yes.
Which moves into the third thing, and this is probably the biggest thing.
Okay.
But not much of a change. Just this is more of a note. Whereas I feel like we have maybe put too much emphasis in recent records. We have put too much emphasis, and the whole like show vibe in general, too much emphasis on you trying to finish all the notes of what you learned.
Okay.
Which is the premise of the show, but is not the point.
Yes.
And the point of the show is to be funny.
Yes. The ultimate. Okay, this actually brings something up that I've been thinking on that I kind of was like, just like not gonna really bring up. It was just like stuff in my brain kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Okay, I do want to address not telling you. That's fine. Whatever. Because I was trying to like, whenever you said that earlier today, I was like, but it's gotten so much better since I started telling you. But then I was like, I don't know if that's just because we just got better, you know?
Exactly.
So I'm open to doing that again and trying it out.
Seeing what happens.
Second, the problem with the not like picking something versus actually hyper focusing on something is I don't get to control the hyper focus. So
yes,
sometimes
I do realize that when I make that
something.
suggestion. Yeah.
And I mean that whole list that we had on Google Docs that I now just have on my computer because I had to copy and paste it. That was stuff that I wanted to hyper focus on, but I was saving to do the research on for the podcast. So it's a half and half kind of situation.
Yeah, and I think if I don't know the topic, it doesn't make any difference to me how you do it.
Okay, because the reason we started telling you the topic was because you were feeling a little like you couldn't contribute in the way that you wanted to. So
if it was things
you've realized that maybe it doesn't matter one way or another.
I think I want to think I'm getting to the point where it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I think if they are topics that would rely on
like trees, you would have wanted to know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If it's something that like heavily relies on my experience,
right,
maybe it's good for me to know beforehand just so I can,
right. But if it's something that you have, like today, if we're doing fucked up fairy tales, you don't have any
I don't know any
experience in fucked up fairy tales. You don't give a shit.
Never lived one.
Yeah. And then, okay. So this is what brings me to what I was saying about having had these little private thoughts that I was like, these are
privy
just
to your most private thoughts.
My own dumb thoughts that I'm not really, I wasn't even ready to verbalize them yet. Like it was just like little flitting ideas. Your point of the podcast is to have fun and laugh and have
the premise is for you to tell me about things, but that's not the point.
Right. Yeah, the point. But here's the thing.
The bones of the show are the story. The meat of the show is the entertainment.
We're in still such a good position right now, as in nobody listens.
Yeah.
That we like this is malleable. We can.
Well, that's exactly my point.
But like, I'm thinking like beyond of like, oh, the premise we have. Let's just tweak and twerk it. Like,
ooh, are you getting?
I'm getting to a point where like we could like. I'm not saying like completely throw out what we're doing, but like we can overhaul the like format.
I mean,
we could do I was honestly at the point where I was like, is there like a way we can do like segments? Like But then I was like thinking like, okay, but are we like, we would have to focus on something. So like, do we lean into history, which is a lot of the subjects that we've been doing are like, you know, zhuzhed up history lessons basically. Mm-hmm. So do we do like a segment of like this day in history and riff on those things that happened, and then the next half of the thing is just like a quick little lesson from me? Or do we do like lean into the hyper focus situation where like maybe whatever it is like that I'm just generally hyper focused on in this moment, no matter if it's like TikTok drama or like some reality TV show or a regular TV show or like the fucking cats in my yard, like,
yeah, I like them.
Do we do that and then go into the, like, you know what I mean? Like, I've been thinking of like, I think we could, I don't want to say polish this up, but we could like fine tune it and go segmenty like a radio show or something.
So
like not in a dumb way.
I think I'd love the idea of like if we have like, yeah, maybe there's like a behind the scenes segmentation. But I don't want anything official, anything concrete.
Yeah.
Because again, like loose is the move.
Yeah.
Loose and entertain, like loose and funny.
Right. And like having segments doesn't necessarily have to be like concrete. It's just more of a like, maybe we like just a loose start framework. The show with, we are talking about like in this day in history, as an example, this day in history concepts. Mm-hmm. And then at a certain point, we're just like, well, all right, yeah, that's fucking done. And then we can just talk about, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be like, and now we're moving into our this day in history section. Like, you know, it doesn't.
Exactly. Yeah. We don't need to, there's no like labels for these like parts of each thing. It's like,
but I would like a theme.
Just doing it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think like if that's, would that be something we collaborate on? Like we both choose, or do you want to like pick it?
Actually, love the idea of if we did 2 segments, and especially like, I mean, think about this. I was gonna say I would love if we did 2 segments. One of them was yours and one of them was mine. The thing I want to say is if it was something like this day in history or whatever, like that's not a whole ton of work on your part, you know?
No, I mean, it's not a great,
like the other
it's like
section
Wikipedia,
would
right?
Be, well, actually I can send you a really great website that has a daily this day in history with a lot of context posted.
Well, don't say it on the air because this might get released. So.
But yeah, I think that could be like jazz it up a little bit. That could involve you a bit more. Because I feel like at this point you're just kind of laying back and taking it, you know? And like
so what spurred my like bringing up these ideas is that not only am I just kind of like I'm in the passenger seat.
Yeah.
But
like
I'm in the passenger
Uber.
seat.
Like you're not even on a road trip with me. You're like
exactly
truly in an Uber that I'm driving.
Like I always feel it's like every time I'm trying to like derail you, you're like, no, we got to get through these notes.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
I totally agree.
I'm like, no, we shouldn't get through these notes. These notes are like, their notes are good.
I will say the only
but they're
reason
not the point.
I think that is I'm thinking from a listener standpoint, if I've latched on to a certain detail in the story and I don't get a wrap up, I'm not going to like that. Yeah. Which is the reason I try to make it through the notes.
Yeah. Which
but again, if we
would work
like
if we can get to a point.
Yeah.
If we can get to a point where it's just like the whole show is loose, and then like the last 20 seconds, are you just being like, oh yeah, and then her lesbian lover died and she killed herself.
Yeah.
And then it just cuts. Like, that's fine.
I don't know.
You just like run through the bits you didn't get to
specifically, but I do agree that I think there's
if
another
you're worried
way
about people
to not,
wanting the.
And I think what I was saying about there being maybe segments, that way I can just condense the story, and maybe the story is like I just tell it beginning to end real quick, and then we
No, I don't like that.
riff off of that.
No, that's not good. I don't like that.
Okay.
That's hard. That's harder to riff on because it's like if someone gave their entire side of the argument and then you had to like go back and dissect it. Like it's just harder to keep track of it.
Oh, well, I didn't mean like a 10-minute thing. I meant like a quick like.
Well, even then, it's like easier to bet. It's better to do it in the moment, right? Like.
Yeah, I was thinking like a quick like 1-minute summary, and then as you. Now, yeah, you're right. But there's got to be. I think there's a better way to do that, and I think there's an evolution of what we're doing right now that like you're absolutely like I love telling these stories, but I think what us two specifically are doing, the whole telling the story thing is not serving us as well as something else could.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm trying to get at is that like.
But I think there's a solution that there's like we haven't hit
the
yet. Like we need to like mull it around.
The way I'm looking,
think about it.
Absolutely, no, like 100%. The way I'm looking at it is I'm looking at it from the perspective of like we present these shows as if they have a subject. And as if the point of the show is about that subject. But that's not the case. See, the subject is simply a framework for the two of us to like create an entertaining conversation. Like we're not trying to be stuff you should know. We're not trying to like be educational. Because we don't want to be, because that's a lot of like, that's a headache. Like if anything, I would like to lie. I'd like to lie about things. That would be fun.
Then, okay.
So if we don't frame it.
Yeah.
Don't frame it in that way.
I think if we did that, like where I brought something, but maybe not necessarily well researched, and not even the whole episode is going to be about that. First of all, we have to reckon with the fact that then we are becoming a conversational podcast.
I mean, we already need to be. We need to be there.
Which is fine with me. We need to, like, and on that point, second, I don't think then that we should actually advertise the subject. Like, to me, it should be known that that's the format now, is that like I will bring something up specifically, but because it's all like tangents and different jokes and thinking about other things, like that kind of thing, I don't want title or description to be focused on whatever subject I brought, because
I would be fine with that.
Yeah, because then I think that tells the listener we're talking about the subject, and then they listen and they're like, no, they didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
Which I'm also fine with. I just wanted to put it out there. Like,
okay, yeah.
If we like transition to that, then it's, and you know what? Honestly, dream come true. I would rather just be a fucking conversational podcast with you.
I mean, this is what I feel like we've been trying to get at. This is what I thought we were getting at, and this is where I thought we were going. And so I did feel weird when we were getting hung up on the subjects. And I was like, well, who gives a fucking shit about the subjects?
It was only really because I wanted to, like, I want to have our feet firmly planted in one or another format. You know what I mean? Yes. And because the original idea, the original format was, I tell you about my hyperfocus, I was like, I have to tell you all about the thing, because the point is that I'm telling you all about something.
Yeah. Which is still can be. It's just that's not the point.
Right. I'm completely fine with, like, moving away from advertising that it is me telling you about something rather than it's just us meeting up, shooting the shit, and I go, okay, thank God you're here because I need to say something. Just like how it is when we normally hang out.
Exactly. So that's my point. Like, so that it still is the premise. You telling me about something. But it doesn't have to be, we don't have to be so like strict on ourselves.
Right. It doesn't have to be history. It doesn't have to be any other thing. I can literally just tell you,
and we don't give a shit.
You know what I'm fucking hyper focused on is the fact that,
lay it on me.
Well, you know, it could be like, okay, you know what it is? There's some TikTok drama going on.
Did they call you a bitch?
No, this woman paid $4,500 total to get line work of flowers and a fox, and it didn't even look like the tattoo that she wanted.
Oh, tattoo line work. I was thinking just like art.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, she got like a half sleeve, and she gave the woman $4,500. $4,500. No tattoo in the world.
No line work tattoo
she had
at
to
least.
Give $1,000 deposit. She had to pay like
that should have covered the whole thing.
$500. Oh yeah, and the deposit didn't go towards the cost of the fucking.
What the fuck?
Know. And then she also paid $500 for the design fee.
Can I say something insane? What was this, a tattoo in Toronto? Because no, tattoo artists here do charge way too much. They're fucking.
They're not out of control. Completely out of line though.
They're pretty out of line. No, they're pretty out of line.
Ours, me and Matt.
Not something like that. Not something small like that. But well, also that was a while ago.
It was.
That was
2019.
4 years. 4 years ago. That same tattoo would easily be like.
Oh,
what you say? 150?
No, we paid 200.
Okay, yeah, too much.
No, I don't think so.
200 American or 200 Canadian?
Canadian.
Okay, not too bad. I was gonna say, I bet that same tattoo would be like $350 now.
Well, inflation.
Yeah, inflation that's 50-60%.
Hey, call me crazy. Do you want to do new format?
Just like now?
Like today for our recording right now, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, our new format is looser. There's no rules, just right.
And then
welcome to Outback.
Yeah, and we don't have to say it's about anything. I'll just bring up. You know what I like about that too is you're always so good at asking questions, and this is a compliment to you, a diss to me, because the questions that you ask, I never have the answer to.
I'm so good at asking questions, and you're so bad at answering them.
I am, dude. I'm
kind of like a detective. I'm kind of like a detective, and you're kind of like a nitwit.
Yeah,
Crim.
I'm like the idiot police officer. How'd he get on the force? Oh, he passed the IQ test in that he got below a certain IQ and was admitted onto the force.
Hey, officer dumbass.
Yeah.
You find any shell casings on the ground and you're like, what's the shell casing?
I found this shell on the beach.
I'm like, that's a fucking $100, you moron. You absolute buffoon. Get out of my sight, you piece of shit. What is this, your first day out of the academy?
No, it's my 244th day out of the academy.
This idiot's been counting. Hey, count the blood stains on the wall.
Ooh, can I say another thing that I...
Okay, yeah, we don't have to riff on...
No, we're not going to riff.
We don't have to do that. We don't have to go on that
tangent.
Fine. Okay, sure. Okay, derail that for whatever it is you want to talk about.
I would love to derail that. Another great thing about this format change that we're doing is that I will dread these recordings so much less.
Oh, okay, good. I'm glad you've been dreading doing this.
Only because
that's healthy.
I have, there's work involved.
Yeah, so, okay, this had been my,
research. I have to make my notes legible to myself, which
I'm
a fucking moron. So I can't read notes. I have to do that. Then, we have to do the recording, and I have to make sure that I don't fucking say anything wrong or sound like an idiot or anything. And then afterwards, gotta edit it and stuff. Oh, that's one thing. We should discuss, our...
You want me to edit?
No, I mean, actually, that'd be sick if you could take that.
I'm not volunteering. Not volunteering yet. In the future, nice. Once this is done, yes.
Okay. Once Seed of a Dead Tree is fully...
Once I'm done with this bullshit. Yeah.
Then yes, let's discuss. Only because, I do like editing. I do.
Yeah, but I'm super down to help, too, once I have the time.
Yeah, the thing is that the 40-hour-a-week job and the other things, a.k.a. D&D, that I have dedicated some time to, leaves me with...
Not this week.
Not a whole lot of time to, relax or spend time with Brad.
Yeah. No, I get it.
And
having dogs really, and being married is tough.
It really actually fucking is, dude. It really is. It's not Brad. It's mostly the dogs.
Yeah.
But, Brad's got things he's doing, too. So, I'll have a night off, and he'll be like, oh, I actually said I'd play video games with the boys. You.
Yeah, me.
And then I just...
So that's where all my extra time is going, is just hanging out with your husband.
And watch fucking Seinfeld for the 900th time, because I don't know what else to do.
Dude, it is wild when I log into your Netflix and see that you're one day I'll see that you're on season 3 of Seinfeld, and a couple days later I'll see that you're on season 7, and then the wildest thing will happen the next time is I'll see the next time I'll log in and you're on season 1. Yeah, you're back to the start. I'm like, what the fuck?
It's my new show. It's my new show that if I get too high, I'll put Seinfeld on.
You've been getting into weed again.
I have, and it's nice.
Sometimes I'll just pick up where you left off on Seinfeld, and so that I know that way the next time you do it, it won't be where you left off.
Well, here's the thing: I've watched it so many times that I don't even know where I am anyway.
That's what I figured. I figured you would never even notice. I never even had to tell you I did that.
You really didn't, and actually now I'm mad at you for fucking up my Seinfeld.
Fucking it up.
Oh, what I was gonna say though about the editing was, hopefully we can get in a fun enough zone that I really can
discovery zone.
Chop an hour out of our 2-hour recorder, whatever it's
that's the goal, right? The goal is to get to that point where you can do that.
Because that's what I'm scared of going to a looser, more friends just having a conversation format, is that I worry that I now am on the hook to cherry pick good bits out. You know what I mean?
No, you should never be on that hook.
Oh, okay. Let me just...
You should never...
Get off that hook.
I'm an ally. I'm an ally. You should never be on that hook.
Just unhook myself.
Yeah, actually, I know, the big, Leatherface monster like hooked you on a meat hook and left you in like the cooler, he's gonna like drain your blood and like cut off your tits and eat them later. You actually could have just pulled yourself off that hook this whole time, you dumbass.
Oh, I'm a dumb bitch.
You fucking moron.
Jesus
You
Christ.
didn't even have to be on that hook. There's a step ladder next to you. You didn't even look at the step ladder. The step ladder said looser format on the steps.
No, but I'm totally in agreement with you because I think what I've been noticing as we've been, putting out episodes and recording more episodes is that really where we shine is the conversation.
Yeah, Trant Bird.
The
Trant Bird, Leonard Husk.
Leonard Husk.
Like getting going, getting moving.
Leonard damn Husk.
And then I'm like, the Cuban, he's pressed to win. What is he?
Slutbird. Slutbird and Trant Bird. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
Reference. It's a callback. It's a callback. Did you do improv or did I do improv?
Couldn't tell. I have no idea.
You tell me. Improv. I thought you said. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't. You don't know. You
I don't.
Little piece of shit.
I'm a little bitch boy. I'm a little shitty. I'm a little poopy boy.
I need mommy to come change my diaper.
I need mommy to come wipe my asshole. Hey, it's Mother's Day. Mommy, you want to come wipe my ass?
Oh, speaking of, after this, I got to call my mom.
Oh, you didn't do it? So I did it before because I'm a professional.
No, I wanted to do it before, but I also wanted to sit on the patio and drink a beer and read a book.
That's fair.
Here we go. New format.
New format. More devil jokes. Devilry.
What do I do? I don't know.
What do I do?
I don't remember what my job is.
What your role? Your role is just whatever you did before, but don't be such a bitch about it.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like, yes, I get we have more about Mulholland's story. Actually, that episode never came out, so maybe this isn't a very good. That's not a good callback. That episode hasn't come out yet.
It'll come out at some point, probably.
Yes, at some point we're gonna miss a beat. And
I'm on vacation, and Will can't be bothered to do anything.
As in, Alexa's on vacation without Will, and Will has had like 8 more family members die.
Yeah, sorry. You don't get to go on every vacation I go on.
I don't get to go on any of them, apparently. So you went on a trip. I wasn't invited, and like 8 of my family members have died that week. So sorry, I can't edit the episodes. I'm up to my great aunts and uncles now.
A girls' trip, and during that 4 days I was gone, 8 of your family members died.
Okay, none of them did.
Oh, so you lied.
One of them died a couple weeks before, and one of them is on the way out. Well, that was
absolutely my fault.
Well, I didn't say it was your fault at all.
No, the one that went before I went on my trip was definitely my fault. And I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to have
now that
done
you take
that
blame,
to you.
Actually, my grief does need a scapegoat, so I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it was you.
Still friends?
Still friends for now.
So acquaintances.
Now we're back to like first name basis.
First name basis. Like if I reference you to my actual friends, I can say my friend Will.
Yeah, and they might be like, who's that? I haven't met him.
I'll just be like, oh, it's just my friend Will. He's not around cool that much.
He's just this real cool guy.
He's like kind of this. He's just like kind of a guy. Like if you could picture like a guy, that's him.
But he's like cool. He's like sick. He's like
I
sick
didn't
dude.
say that. No.
No, I bet you could. You don't have to.
I could, but I'm not going to.
You could say it. All I'm saying is you could say it.
I could, but I won't.
If I had to say anything,
like
about this and say that you could say that. You don't have to lie. I'm not asking you to lie.
I feel like you're asking me to lie.
I would never ask you to lie. I can't myself. I'm actually really bad at lying.
You're
I would never
saying
ask someone else to do
You
it.
could say that, but it feels like lying because it's not something I truly believe in my heart of hearts.
Well, it's like an
like you are
okay, so
a
it's
guy.
like an embellishment.
You're a guy.
Yeah, I am. Well, that's you.
But
It's
a cool
I
guy?
mean, you're assuming a lot there. I think.
I don't know. I think you're assuming a lot that you're cool.
You just. What am I assuming? Okay, what the fuck am I assuming?
That you're cool, and that I also agree with that.
I didn't say cool.
Opinion.
I said sick. Didn't say cool.
So
Maybe
sorry.
I did say cool. Roll back the tapes. Roll back the tapes. Let's get back to the bottom of this. Dude, I'm so cool. I wear this fucking shirt in Toronto, and people are like, "You're American." And I'm like, "How did you know?" And they said, "Because no Canadian would ever like take a stance."
No Canadian would ever be like, hey, you know what? The way we're treating guns, real fucked up in this country.
Okay, for the listeners, my shirt says "Gun Reform Now," which is very funny when Canadians read it who have no concept of the fact that I might not be Canadian. Because they're like, well, yeah.
Well, we already did that.
Or they might
that a
get
vintage
mad
shirt?
because... No, this is from like last year.
That's the joke is
Oh,
Canadians
okay.
would be
So,
like,
yeah,
"What is that,
Canadians might
vintage?"
think I'm like an asshole because I'm asking for like even more reform on top of like Canadian gun laws,
Which are
which
like...
are solid.
Yeah, you have to register every single gun.
Is it flawless? No, but it's like
way better
night
than
and day.
American.
It's like so much better
Yeah.
than American gun laws.
Well, because you have to register every single gun, right? And you have to also
Every gun.
register it specifically for what the gun is meant for, right? Like if you had a handgun, it
You don't
would
have
be
to
a
register
different
what it's meant
registration
for,
than for like
but
a
it's
hunting
registered by
gun.
type of gun. Yes, a handgun is different from a long gun.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it.
So it's not
a
like
rifle
it's not what the gun's
or a shotgun is. Like it's not just
Different.
you're a gun owner.
right. No, like there are like different levels of license, and each level of license allows you to have different guns.
Right.
It's just two. There's the gun license
It's like
and the
a
restricted
driver's
license.
license in America, where it's like you can get a
Yeah.
license to, drive a regular car, or you can get a license to drive a forklift or
Commercial.
a 16-wheeler or a motorcycle.
Hats off. Hats off to the real heroes, the real first responders, forklift operators.
Hey, amen.
Hey, first responders, more like fork responders.
Pray
Me at the
for
steakhouse.
the flag and kneel for the forklift or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
I don't know.
Pray for the fork and kneel for the lift.
I'm
This house.
I'm a Pisces, and I drive a forklift, and
my wife's a
kneel
bitch.
for my bitch wife.
Who loves me, but is an angry bitch.
And also, our kids are stupid because they've been taught the Bible.
Don't cross me or my forklift driving bitch wife.
Don't cross me because Jesus already got the cross.
Yeah, if you want to cross this dick and his bitch wife, you're going to have to talk to Jesus first.
Amen.
And bring him Halloween candy. It's our favorite holiday.
We love Halloween. And Easter,
We
it's
celebrate
all
Halloween in this house. We celebrate Halloween and kneel for the jack-o'-lantern.
In this house, we
In
kneel
this
for the
McMansion.
fork and pray for the jack-o'-lantern because he's a guy named Jack that was cursed by a witch.
Jack-o'-lantern cursed.
It's like on a video game where it's like, you've met jack-o'-lantern, status cursed.
Status cursed. Free him from his mortal coil or face the same fate. You're like, I can't bring myself to kill this guy. It's like, oh, your head turns into a lantern. You're dead.
Yeah, you're also a jack-o'-lantern. Your name's not Jack? I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, bitch-a-lantern more like. Because you couldn't even kill Jack. And Jack was begging for it. Kill me! Fucking kill me! Kill me! I'm a jack-o'-lantern.
You know what? I'm too much of a coward to kill someone even when you're begging for